Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you. We can have a formal introduction about you, and then we can start with the session, sir.
Yeah.
I will ask my faculty members to introduce you. Thank you, sir. Please wait on the line. Purnima, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. We can start the second session, ma'am. Dr. Anirudhan sir is with us.
Okay,
We
ma'am.
can
Sure.
start using speaker, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sure. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, all. Myself, Dr. Purnima, Assistant Professor in Biotechnology from KS Rangasamy College of Technology, feel privileged to introduce today's guest speaker, Dr. B. Anirudhan, sir. He is the principal of Nehru Arts and Science College, Coimbatore. Sir has 28 years of experience in teaching, research, and administration. He has organized so many conferences, seminars, workshops at national and international levels. He has also chaired international conferences in Malaysia, Bangkok, Dubai, Indonesia, and Australia, etc. He has published more than 40 research articles and 3 books. Being a coordinator of the winning team in the 6th National Youth Parliament competition, he was awarded by Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs, Government of India during 2005 at New Delhi. The college has got 2F and 12B certification status of UGC and accredited by NAC with A status through his guidance. Sir has received so many awards. He received Best Principal Award from International Institute of Education and Management, New Delhi in the year 2011. He received a Rajiv Gandhi Education Excellence Award from International Institute of Education and Management, New Delhi in the year 2013. He received Indie Wood Educational Excellence Award in the year 2018 and 2020. He also received Sri P.K. Das Lifetime Achievement Award from Nehru Group of Institutions in the year 2018. He received the Best Production Unit Award from Nature Science Foundation 2019, and he also received the Rashtriya Vibhushan Samman Purashkar with a gold medal from Association for Raising and Talented Personalities, New Delhi in the year 2019. Sir is also a member coordinator in a peer team for NAC since 2014. Under his heading, the Nehru Arts and Science College has received Best Private Arts and Science College in Tamil Nadu from Worldwide Achievers Association in the year 2014. With this brief introduction, I invite Dr. Anirudhan sir for the presentation of the coming session. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the flattery, the nice introduction. I'm really honored to be with all of you for another maybe 45 minutes or whatever time you grant me. I owe my sincere thanks to Dr. Ponmurugan and Dr. Maithili at the outset. And you have been listening to a lot of people on different dimensions of education and research. If others could mute it, it will be very fine for. Yeah, thank you very much. So about this subject, teaching methodologies and pedagogies, I think there's nothing new to be discussed with all of you. You have been listening to quite some experts. I think I wouldn't prefer to go through all the slides of mine. Maybe in 15 to 20 minutes, I'll discuss what I have in my mind. And after that, if anybody has got anything to supplement, suggest, or queries, we'd make it a discussion type of forum rather than making it a monologue. So now, because of COVID, we are all united on a platform like this. A digital platform, we call it as, at least in Indian context, the modern or most modern technology of using digital platforms. In spite of all said and done related to the development of science and technology, it's all very hard for us to believe that we are still fighting with corona, and corona is growing very much bigger and bigger in size. So the limitations in science and technology, the limitations in the knowledge frame of human beings or the conscious level of human beings, all we know the constraints. Either it can be called as a constraint or it can be called as a limitation of the consciousness that we have, or the knowledge that we have, or the other part of the knowledge we have not explored. So taking that as a context, the latest technology in teaching learning process like flipped classes or mind mapping, I would like to revert back to the olden ages. This land is known as the land of rishis and the land of spiritual learning. The entire world has come to India only to explore the quality of knowledge that Indians used to have. Those knowledge have come out from very, very deep rooted thinking. Now we have come to machine learning and deep learning. This deep learning or the deepest learning was there where they were able to explore more than 50% of the consciousness or the subconscious. Now we are able to use the conscious even to the Nobel laureate 68%. So this land belonged to that kind of a tradition. So we are enjoying the legacy of that. Then it came to Machiavellian kind of education, teaching, learning process where we wanted to only to produce clerical job people who are able to do an office work. Our cognitive domain has almost been wiped out over centuries. It may again take centuries to come back to that kind of a system where all this flip learning, mind mapping, AI, all things used to happen in the earlier age, it may come back over a period of time. Now this again has come to us as a stopgap arrangement. Till we reopen the college, what do? Okay, let's chat over a digital platform. Let us converse over a digital platform of certain experiences that we have. And again, if you look at Gurukula system, learn from the Guru or learn with the Guru. Learn by living with the Guru. This was the concept. So morning Guru will get up, all the disciples will come, and Guru will say, 2 of you go to the forest, collect flowers. And this group, you 3 go to other side of the forest, collect fruits and vegetables possible. Fruits, roots and vegetables. Another part, you go with the cattle, go to other part of the forest, feed the cattle and come back. And different such type of jobs used to be given to the disciples, and every evening disciples will come back on a call. That call never used to be made using a telephone, mobile phone. There's a telepathic message. That message will go to the brains of the disciples and they'll get the alarm, they'll come back right on time without looking at any watch or time. And that is the real flip class. And that is where the mind mapping had happened. That was a real experiential learning. Learning from their experience and sharing the experience with the Guru, and Guru corrects that or fine-tunes that learning. So that from that a legacy we have come down to this system at present. In between we lost a lot of things. The entire teaching learning process have got reshuffled to a level that only the teacher used to take the decisions. Teacher say, you sit down there, you don't ask a question, you don't come late, you cannot go early. This is my class, I am the king of the class or the queen of the class. You have got nothing to do, get out of my class. So a lot of things used to say, all negations. In a system where the current flip classes or such type of classes are happening. For example, I am here. You are at my other end. I'm not sure how many of you are there, who you are, what is your profile, what is it that you want to learn from me, what I can teach you. There's no clarity on any of those things. We are at different places on different sides of the screen. And if this is the most effective learning, then what exactly learning means or teaching means? And we talk about outcome-based education. Early itself, we'll decide what is it that the learner wants to learn. It has got nothing to do with what the teacher wants to teach. Absolutely nothing. So in Gurukula also, we understand what could be the learning outcome. You are going to learn archery. You know, these are the qualities that you are going to possess after completing the, what you call the program or course in the modern terms. You will become an archer. Now, what is the guarantee now? You learn microbiology, you will become a microbiologist. So still, experiential learning is happening. You cannot learn all the theory of swimming and jump into the river, not even the swimming pool. Learning all the theories of driving, you cannot get into a car and drive that. So in that context, to what extent are pedagogies, so-called methodologies of teaching will fit into? I would never like to say that you have to go fully into the olden system of Gurukula, but then I feel there used to be a lot of emotional transactions, lot of mind-to-mind communication, lot of pure understanding based on the feelings of the children. There used to be very strong mentoring. Now mentoring has become a subject, and we know 1:20, how many teachers have a mentoring record, how many students say that she or he has mentored me. There are, of course, wonderful teachers. No doubt about that. Of course, there are great teachers even now. But then look at the statistics and the majority. We come and do teaching as a profession, a job, a time pass, a stopgap arrangement, and whatnot. I bow down to all my great teachers who have taught me, or from whom I have learned a lot of things, and I am here today like that. I'm grateful to all my gurus, all my teachers. We have to think of a time when the disciples, the students, will feel my teachers used to be very good. I'm proud of my teachers. That need to be the type of pedagogy we have to learn. You use anything. You use Khan Academy, you use Audacity, you use Edmodo, you use Kahoot, everything. No issues. What is the learning quotient? What is the depth of the knowledge that we are able to dissipate to the children? This makes a lot of sense. And again, and again, and again, and again, the knowledge should never be limited to the textual knowledge. When you want children to learn through experience, are we having as teachers the quality of experiential knowledge? Doing research on the knowledge that we have. So we have very limited knowledge in our domain. Maybe 2-3 research papers or some research finding of some other people. Other than that, are we taking that subject into our cognitive domain and doing a research internally without looking at the literature outside? That kind of a quality need to come into the domain of teaching learning. Pedagogy is fine, right from chalk and talk. We have come to OHP, then to PPT. Then we are talking about flipped classes. Again, go to mind mapping and whatnot. There will be a lot of new technologies coming up. If you understand the limitations of technology, and if you understand that the quality of a teacher or the qualities of a teacher do not have limitations, if you feel you are a teacher. I am a teacher by virtue of different other things. If not, I am a teacher with a lot of passion to transfer my knowledge and transcend the children, giving them capability of deciding upon their life. I think those are the teachers, and those are the roles of teachers in shaping the mind, future, thought process, clarity in thinking of a student. We always will say there are academic limitations. We have to complete our syllabus in time. We have to run examinations. You have to become answerable to the government or to the private management and whatnot. A lot of excuses. Limitless excuses. Do we really measure the qualities that we possess as a teacher, as an excellent teacher or a great teacher or an inspiring teacher? Or find out, are you a normal teacher? Go to the class, teach the syllabus, make them pass, come back. Education or teaching for the sake of teaching. So learning also will have the purpose, learning for the sake of learning. You just revert back. Find out how many teachers come into your mind frame you feel you owe them. These are the teachers who shaped me. Not that what subject she or he has taught you, but for the emotions that they have shared, the hand-holding. When you were in trouble, when you were facing difficulties in life, you are facing difficulty in coming to the class on time, telling the teacher, my dear teacher, I am late every day because I am going for a job in the morning. I am a newspaper boy. Did you try to help him? If not, all the methodologies of teaching, learning, all the technology that we have will fail, and the students will never remember us with gratitude that I had a lot of teachers. And I have teachers, I am still connected to them. Every Pongal, every New Year, every Christmas, every time when there is an occasion, I greet my teacher. Are we teachers of that kind of a folk? If not, we have to change. Forget about COVID or any such calamity that may come and go. The purpose of teaching is to make them learn the qualities that he must possess to face the challenges in life. The latest incident of last week, you would have seen, better to say Dhoni. The guy who was Dhoni for all of us, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He has committed suicide in spite of all the wealth and all the attributes he had, or the comments from the people, the titles he won. He was not able to contain himself. So that is the quality that you have to embed in the children. Learn to fight fear. Learn to overcome failures. Learn to face the world, which is always challenging. So that need to be the teaching process. For that, you can use any pedagogy which should touch the heart of the child and handhold him, make him a courageous person to face. We also do the same thing at home. You got only 75 in mathematics? You failed in English? Stupid boy. Look at the neighbor's boy. He has got centum. He is bright always. Why are you like this? You never go into the cognitive domain of that child who is failing in mathematics. He would be a good painter. He's a good dancer. He's passionate about acting. He wants to become a pilot. So why should we tell them you must become a doctor? You must become an engineer. This is the profession that you have to choose, which I want. Or I have missed this profession in my life. You have to do because you are my son or daughter. For that, what pedagogy use? what mind mapping you use. So, having said this, I have shared my mind, what kind of a teacher I have in my mind, and what kind of a teacher I am trying to address. Now, let alone this entire PPT will be shared with the organizers. They'll share the PPT with you. I would like to have dialogue with you if you are interested. So that's what I want. You anything related to the teaching learning process, you can ask me. I can explain you. But then this is my mind as a teacher, as a learner. I am a continuous learner. I learn with emotions. So that's a kinesthetic learning with a feeling. Okay. Thank you all. Now it's open to you all. Dr. Maithili, are you there? Organizers left the platform. Any other listener, if you can unmute and speak, it's fine.
It's fine,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, please. If somebody would like to have some dialogue, I would love to listen to them, learn from them. You can have comments, suggestions. PPT is a part. PPT will be shared to you. You can give it to everybody.
Sir, firstly, we would like to say thanks to you because till now we have wonderful session, but all the session was technical. But the things start, today the emotions that you give to this, these sessions, this virtual course is wonderful, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, dear. A teacher has to converse through heart, and it should come out from heart and reach to the heart. You can use any technology. Nothing wrong about using technology. Technology is a supporter, is a facilitation, not replacement of a teacher. Never.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, dear. Tell me, please.
Dr. Anil Kumar. I'm an associate professor of sericulture, DVS College of Arts and Science,
Yeah.
Karnataka, Karnataka, Bangalore. It's very interesting that your session is put into a kind of a dialogue, and I very much appreciate that your concern. As a teacher, I could see your personality. I do believe in all these philosophy because the most important is the teacher need to be.
Your audio is getting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you
Now,
just now hear me, sir? Yeah.
yeah.
I strongly believe that teacher should not become a material which you can who delivers a content,
Yeah.
who delivers clear content. The more kind of an interaction, like how me and you are doing, sir. This is most important. And all these present, in this particular situation, that the COVID-19, they're seeing that there is a lot of, a kind of using this technology and trying to reach the counterparts.
Yeah.
But it may not be a very powerful tool. It may be a kind of a technique in acquiring the knowledge. But as far as the reaching an individual as a human being, you see, there may not be a kind of first concept is inclusiveness.
Yes.
I very much believe in this inclusiveness because on the whole, the community, the teaching community, the students community, and if we take it as a sphere, now it has to go.
Somebody is reaching there in auto rickshaw. Yeah.
Yeah, some participants. So, okay, sir.
Yeah.
It's a kind of philosophy, the teacher need to be a friend, philosopher, and guide. And the teacher and the student relationship is not just which begins in an institution and ends there.
Yeah.
It's
Wonderful. Wonderful. Wonderful.
to build a guild of the students community.
Yeah.
A teacher might go one day,
Yeah.
but the what you call the group which you have built with values, with philosophies, with the
Yes.
kind of what is known as the discipline which needs for this nation or for this humankind.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful supplement there. Thank you so much for that.
So that is it has to become this kind of an interaction between a student and teacher.
Yes.
And
Yes. Exactly.
which
If
every teacher is doing it, so that we are going to build a strong system of
yes.
student
Yes.
which
Wonderful. Wonderful.
this
See.
teacher.
Yeah. When you are. Yeah.
So-
You are continuing. Yeah. You are continuing.
Yeah, I would end up in another 1 or 2 minutes. Sir. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did this. So once when this journey goes on for a long way, you can certainly build a strong students community which can later on can contribute in all spheres of this what I call now used to call colleges development, economics, technologies, science, and whatnot. So first thing is that a strong the relationship between the teacher and student has to be built in. Only through this kind of relationship you can start inculcating the values of science, technology, and literature, arts, and whatever the knowledge. So then comes the knowledge. So that means one is the not sympathy and empathy that for the student what you give is most important.
Yeah.
So the teacher comes up with this off the box. Now whatever structured education, formal education system has put us in a kind of what you call box, and we start doing, and we are doing this webinars, we are doing that, doing something, and ultimately where it teaches, where it ends is most important. So I sincerely feel that we need to think in these areas. But today we are seeing that I myself is attending a lot of webinars, seminars, conferences. At the same time, I'm unable to reach my students. There are a lot of barriers. So the technology is not the ultimate. You see, you can't have a kind of interaction, sir. If I'm talking to you right here and this, two systems here, okay, the real feelings probably without the physical, appearance or the interaction one-to-one.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much for supplementing that, bringing again that emotional quotient into the relation between the teacher and the taught. If there's no emotional connect, there will be problems on a later phase. This is what we have been practicing. As teachers, all of us should be able to evaluate ourselves. Take a feedback, not from the children. On an occasion, how many students greet you? That's a feedback. You have festive occasions. You have Pongal, Diwali, New Year, Christmas. Find out how many students wish you. That is the feedback.
Yes, right, sir. This is my 30 years of experience. Now I'm doing the same thing, sir.
Thank you so much for sharing. And a teacher should have the mind frame to listen to the children and then talk to them on what they want.
That concern.
Anybody else?
Sir, myself, Dr. Maithili, sir, I also have a question regarding this methodologies. Sir, in a class, we have different qualities of students where one student have an great IQ and other student have a low IQ. In that case, if we also go by a methodology of a very good interactive session or very good understandable session, the child with the highest IQ or the student with the highest IQ always interferes the methodology. Since they know much about the thing, so even that is also affecting the child with low IQ. making an inferiority complex. In that cases, how can we cope up with this thing, sir?
First of all, thank you for this wonderful question. This question is a question of all teachers. All teachers who feel they are teachers, not that people who feel they are born to be teachers. See, you measure a child as a slow learner or a fast learner from the perspective of the subject that you teach. So I am very poor in maths. I am a centum scorer in geography. I am a poor scorer in biology. I score centum in visual learning. I am a centum scorer in literature. I fail in economics. So what is the scale that you measure a child? So we have to go into the cognitive domain of the children, the learner, and we have to develop that. You take the history of all wonderful people, and Sachin Tendulkar would have never become a wonderful batsman like him had the teacher not found him. He was not a mathematics scorer. Dhoni, every great people, you have to go into the domain. That's why he wants to be a painter. Mentor him to become a painter, not a microbiologist. Taking that as a context, IQ is not to be measured on the basis of the subject that we teach and on the basis of the marks that he scores. You would have seen all the backbenchers, stupid guys in the class have become the top class leaders in the world. Their IQ is low, they are poor. All the so-called IQ children that whom we assess as high index people, they end up becoming a good officer in any government office. They end up his life as an officer. Nothing more than that. The creative domain is untouched. We have to touch the creative domain. If he wants to become a singer, let him. If he wants to become an actor, a painter, a driver, you will see, okay, why you want to become a driver? You see, those children who wanted to become drivers only have become the Formula 1 winner in the world. So nothing is that in the classroom we have to decide you have to become an engineer or a software developer or a chemist or a physicist. Let him give a go to the cognitive domain. In that context, the IQ is there for everybody, but the domains are different. So in a classroom context, if you can go close to the student, every student will pass your subject on an academic frame. That academic intelligence is there for everyone. The higher learner of your subject, giving a challenging job. When you take a class, basics, let him go to the library, find out the upcoming trends in the subject, let him do a presentation for 10 minutes in the class. So he feel, okay, I am given a chance by my teacher. Now I am going to prepare something and present that before my classmates. So give him a challenging job because he is having the basic knowledge. At the same time, tell that guy to handhold 5 slow learners in that subject. He is a centum scorer in mathematics. Handhold minimum 1 or 2 students who are bad in mathematics or poor in mathematics. They learn. Peer learning is very effective. They learn better than from a teacher because their communication is from the same wavelength, not of a teacher and a student, of equals. So peer learning impacts a lot. I think I have answered the question. And thank you for the wonderful question, Maithili ma'am.
Sir, I have a point to. May I kindly just interfere, sir?
Yeah, please. Yeah, sure.
Sir, just endorse your opinion. I would like to connect like this, that the aptitude based and the area, the domains in which the student is interested. See, our system is not giving such kind of a scope to choose what he needs. The whole education system is based like this and is structured in such a way that there is a lot of peer pressure on each and every student that you need to become this, you need to become this. A father says, a mother says, or a relative says, or a friend says. But the entire aptitude, the talent and what is within him, the system of society or ourselves, nobody is trying to untap what it is there in him.
Yeah.
This
I
is
would, yeah, I would
that
like
kind
to, yeah,
of
thank you for this leads to another wonderful question. See, you don't blame the society, the setup.
yes,
End of the day, it's you and your child. Maybe
true,
your student, maybe your son or daughter.
yes,
And as a father, you take the risk of giving the freedom to your children. Dad, I want to become a singer. If you can permit him to become a singer, train him, give him training on that.
true, true,
The society will never come to save your child. Society will
exactly,
sympathize.
exactly,
We should
exactly.
have people with empathy. The teacher should have that empathy. The teacher should be able to talk to the parent. Your son is wonderful in singing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Send him for learning music. Your
true.
son is wonderful as a painter. Let him go for painting. So as teachers, we have the capability, find some time, thanks to this technology. Now every teacher should use 1 hour in a Sunday using this digital platform, have a plain interaction with children, not
Exactly.
on the domain of subjects. Domain, just plain domain. My children, whatever you want to talk to me as a friend, talk to me. I'm not a teacher, you are not a student.
Yeah, yeah,
And nobody can be a permanent teacher or a student. You would have seen our students grow very big, very big. They are no more students. We should learn from them. So this open-mindedness at the domestic domain, in home, give freedom to children. That freedom as a teacher, you will be able to give them. There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with the society or system. We can
Yes,
create
yes.
a system of our own. So
That the
thank you.
teacher
Thank you for that.
needs to become a mentor. He need to
Yeah.
be a mentor, good
Yes.
mentor.
Yes. Thank you. Anybody else would like to throw light on any of these things?
Sir, I'm Nalini.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, after a long time, I think I'm speaking to you. But
Yeah,
I have another view of what we are speaking about.
yeah.
See, it is not the parents' wish or will that they are going to force their children to study something, right? Every person who is interested in music, if the parent allow, they have the fear of the child's future. See, his earning, his life. See, this is where we fail as a teacher. This is my, viewpoint.
Yeah.
But there should be a common point where the child and the parent should come to a common point and then pursue their studying. Learning music or learning painting or learning anything is not preventing them to have a bookish education. Okay, this is
Can
my
others
viewpoint
please?
on this.
Yeah.
See that
Can others please
as you
mute who are
say,
not speaking?
in our days, we had very good teachers because they contributed more on us. They had no file management. They had no, only teaching and taking care of the child was their objective. Okay. But in the past 25 years, we see a very long and a different purview of teaching profession itself. So this change we have to accommodate. This is a challenge in our hand. So looking at the and one more important thing is there are several controls over teaching. See, those days only the university set the syllabus and we have been taking care of the teaching. But nowadays it has been maintained, several controls are there. See, you don't have the quotient of only the core subject or the ancillary subjects. The student has to go for economics if he is a science student. So cross border education we are offering. So these are all good, but then it taxes the children. We have to think about that. So may I have your opinion on these
Yeah,
aspects?
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, madam, for this wonderful insight about the future of the children. And again, teaching them music, or we tell the, I mean, send the children when they are young to piano, to dance, to X class, Y class. Often when our children flare in those domains also, we don't let them, because the neighbor's boy is a doctor or is trying to become a doctor, and we should also do like that. And are you enjoying the profession, whatever you do? Are you enjoying learning? Are you enjoying teaching? Set apart or keep away all the tensions that you have that later what will happen to their future. Ask the same question to us. What is it that our parents want us to become and why? Exactly, is it our parents want us to become teachers? Is it so? Didn't our parents want us to become something else? So you were driven to a direction that you were passionate about, or you happen to be there. If this is your choice, this profession is your choice, that freedom should be there for all our children. The children whom we teach in the class, you just call them a student or your own child, but the freedom that you give to your own child, that has to be the freedom that you have to give to everyone. Or if you are a strict parent, I want my son only to become an advocate. So I want everyone to be like that. So that kind of an approach would never support. We have constraints. We have to now report to NIRF, NAC, ASHE, university, autonomous body. A lot of things are there. It's all there. This will again change. Now that last week we had a very, very serious discussion on environmental consciousness, hand-holding of the neighboring villages, taking them to the next level, mentoring village, all those things will go up and up. This will increase only. But then the freedom that we give the children to think free, they have a lot of information now than what we have. So let them have a freedom to talk to us in setting their life. That is my point. Not that we want you to be like this. Let us have a dialogue with our children at home and in the class and support them. And the fear of failure is every time there. What is that we have gained becoming a teacher? There's a fear of fail every time. Now, especially this time, nobody knows what is going to be the future. There is a fear factor. Let the fear factor be there. Let us take calculated risk. Your son is going to learn guitar. He is going to get a 8th grade from the school. You give him 2 years or 3 years time. Okay, 3 years from now you can explore. If you do not become a musician, what is your line B? Next possibility. That kind of a thinking we can have. That's what I just want to appeal to all of you, giving freedom for their thinking. Otherwise, neither you will be happy nor they. Thank you.
Sir?
Yes, please.
Thank you for a nice finally Pankaj.
Yeah.
I'm also
You are not audible. Can you close your, keep your mic close and speak? Yeah, please.
I'm also a teacher in
Yeah.
engineering college.
Yeah.
Actually, the students, see what happens, mostly some of the students are coming for gaining knowledge, but generally it is found that most of the students they are coming for the attendance. Okay. Whether due to attendance they may fail, they may not appear the exam, they appear like attendance. And some are coming for gossiping with friends or girlfriends like that. And see, only to get knowledge or interaction with the teacher, this is not the scenario nowadays. So what is your opinion about it? That only for attendance they are coming, or for gossiping or meeting with the girlfriends? What are these?
Wonderful. This is a scenario. I don't differ. But then, why should a student feel that I am going to this class only for attendance? That means nothing is given to him in the classroom which he wants. You pay 100 rupees, go to a cinema, sit there for 2.5 hours without attending your phone, not thinking of parents, girlfriend, anybody. 2.5 hours you spend there. Let it be any hero, any heroine, any movie, any language. You send, because there is something given to you which all your senses enjoy. So you can think, make your classroom so effective, attractive. That's what I was telling you in the prelude, that are we going beyond the domain or beyond the text? You go beyond the text, there is something new is given. There will be people sitting in your class attending you, and they will come for your class not for attendance but to be with you. The transactions that you make sense for him to sit in here. Otherwise, he'll say, why should I come? I get attendance, or I want attendance, or I pay for attendance and then write my exams. And almost, I'm talking about majority. They may be 5 to 10%. Don't concentrate on them. What happens in a normal classroom, we invest 90% of the time in correcting the problem of 10%. That means, according to the language of teachers, the slow learners, the useless, the backbenchers, to correct them, we spend 90% of the time. This time has to be invested on the real learners. Spend 10% of the time for them. 10:10. Fine, nothing wrong about it. But then concentrating or spending your energy on them or your energy on anybody whom you feel will not be changing, don't do that. Spend your time on the children who loves your class or loves your subject. The earlier question I have answered that the interest of different students are different. Someone who is not interested in mathematics, a mathematics teacher will say he's a fool, but he's not a fool. So you have to give what the students want. That's why they say, if you want to teach French to John, you need to know French and you need to know John. Otherwise, you will be teaching French to everybody. So knowing the student is very important as far as a great teacher is concerned. So thank you. Thank you so much for that question.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, sir. Namaste.
Yes, dear. Namaste.
I am from Maharashtra, sir.
Boliye.
My faculty is physical education, sir.
Wow, wonderful.
So I have two questions, small questions, sir.
Yeah, please.
You are satisfied with the today's education and examination system? This is my one question, sir. First question.
Yeah.
And which type of educational system for the today's generation, as per your thinking, sir?
Yeah. So two wonderful questions. What type of education we need for the current system and what type of evaluation system, syllabus-based evaluation.
So next, the second question is which type of education system for the today's generation, sir?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, fine. So I'll answer the first question, the exam system. See, for every country to progress, the country must have a system. Yes. Right or wrong, they have to have a system based on a framework. Yes. But they never say you should not break the framework. So there are set of examinations prescribed by the university or the state or the center. But then they never tell you this must be the only examination system. And the current examination is focusing on the mark scored.
Yes, sir.
That's why from that we are shifting to outcome-based education, where the equal importance is given to knowledge, skill, and character.
Yes, sir.
Or the attitude. So to develop the skill is simple transformation of knowledge into usability, application. Yeah. And how you apply. If you are applying the knowledge with the sense of commitment, with the sense of quality, with the care for others, when I apply this knowledge, where it is affected, will that be good? So that is the third sense. So if there is enough knowledge, enough practical application, and enough senses applied to it, qualities, then that becomes better. And no government tells that you should not teach them how to apply the knowledge. Within the limited framework only that is possible. But especially as a physical education teacher, you would understand, if you want to train a sprinter for 100 meters, your theory will never help him.
Yes, sir.
He has to have the skill, and every day you switch on your watch, stopwatch, and say your time is improving.
Yes,
so that is scaling up the skill. So this has to be applicable not only in this physical science or physical education, every application this is possible. Measuring, this is what somebody was telling earlier, mentoring or coaching.
Yes, sir.
Mentoring, that must be there. And along with that, the children should possess a discipline, a quality. This is how I should be. So knowledge, skill and attitude, these three are very, very important. You can look at the attitude of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, or you can look at the attitude of Sachin Tendulkar. So that attitude also has to be taught,
Yes,
that
sir.
complacent nature. So that kind of an education system will come in future. We are waiting for that. An examination system also should be able to evaluate these areas. There should be a clear mapping of what he knows, what he can apply, and what are his qualities, attributes as a student while passing out. So that such kind of a syllabus may be framed in the future. It will come. Examination system also will change according to that. And the current generation, Gen X guys, the modern guys, they are living with gadgets. We do not teach them. They know the gadget, much advanced way of using the mobile technology. All the children know. We have to learn from them. So we have to embed the learning process or the teaching process to attract them, where we have to embed qualities into that, emotions into that. Learning subject will never be a problem for the kind of students. They use mobile, they Google, they talk to their peer over phone. You ask a question, immediately he Googles or he talks to the other boy who's studying in the next college. They're all connected very, very strongly. So we'll aspire that a better system will come. But if the better system comes or not, we as teachers can take the responsibility of scaling up their skills, making their qualities better. So knowledge, skill and attitude can be imparted by a good teacher, especially a teacher in physical education. You know the importance of health. Physical fitness is very, very important for mental fitness. So I think that's my answer. Thank you so much. So समझ गए ना आप है वहाँ पे?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. समझ गए हम. Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
धन्यवाद. और कोई है? Is there anybody else? வேற யாராவது இருக்கீங்களா? If not, I would conclude by expressing my gratitude to Dr. Ponmurugan, a wonderful human being I have ever met, very passionate about building the society, very passionate about greenery of the world, and very passionate about mentoring the youth. So I owe you a lot, Dr. Ponmurugan. Thank you so much. And Dr. Maithili for having invited me to the session. You are a wonderful organizer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your wonderful session, sir.
Thank you. I had a lovely time with all of you.
Sure,
Right.
sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Well said, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Participants can leave right now. Shankar, sir. Shankar, sir, can you hear me?
Ma'am, shall I ask one very small question?
Yes,
Ma'am,
yes.
ma'am, actually, we have submitted the assignment. Is
Okay.
there any correction in this one from your side?
Sir, we will contact you regarding the review process. Your assignment will be yes, sir.
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
assignment will be submitted for review.
Yes, ma'am.
Once the reviewer gives any comments or clarifications, we can come up with that.
Okay, ma'am. So ma'am, the reviewer will send on our email. Personally, they will contact us, ma'am.
Yeah. They will contact you personally through the email only. So we all have your data, and the editor who handles your manuscript, I mean your book chapter or assignment, he will contact you for any queries regarding your assignment. And I thank all the participants for. Okay. Thank you,
Hello.
Rajnish.
Hello, Maithili
Yes.
ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
Today, this second session, sir has given a wonderful introduction and all the contents which are really needed in this COVID scenario. So, ma'am, when the sir started, they said that I'll give my inner talk for the 15 minutes. Then I'll start with the slides and all the explanation. So today we didn't have that session. Is it continue the next day, or today's all about this? It's completed.
Yeah, he's completed actually, ma'am. Actually, he wanted it to be a discussion session, and he had it in the last final part. And initially, he wanted to address that thing. That's all. But the session is over with that.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
Hello.
Yes,
Ma'am.
I can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Please continue.
Ma'am, I am Prasad. I am a chemistry student.
Yes.
மேம் நீங்க டைட்டில் சென்ட் பண்ணனும் ஒரு லிங்க் அனுப்புனீங்களா முதல்ல?
ஆமா.
அது வந்து இப்போ அதுல ஸ்மால் கரெக்ஷன் இருக்கு, கிராமட்டிக்கல் மிஸ்டேக் இருக்கு. அது இப்போ அது செக் பண்ண முடியுமா? அது மறுபடியும் அனுப்ப முடியுமா? அது
நீங்க வந்து எடிட்டர் போட்டு ஒரு இமெயில் ஐடி கொடுத்திருந்தோம் இல்லையா, அந்த இமெயில்ல நீங்க வந்து திருப்பி வேணா ரீசெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க, டீடைலா அட்ரஸ் பண்ணி சேஞ்ச் இன் டைட்டில் சொல்லிட்டு சொல்லுங்க. நோ ப்ராப்ளம். இப்போ நீங்க உங்களோட ஃபைனல் சப்மிஷன்ல டைட்டில் சேஞ்ச் பண்ணிட்டீங்கனாலும் நோ ப்ராப்ளம்.
மேம் அதுல சென்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன் அந்த எடிட்டர்